Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Stephanie and I'm a physical therapist, and today we're going to go through a lumbar and hip mobility routine. So this is great if your back feels tight, if your hips feel tight, or if you're having any pain in any of those areas. I like to do this first thing in the morning or right before I go to bed, and it helps just kind of loosen everything up and make everything feel better. So follow along with me. So we're going to start on our back, and we're going to do what I call the bretzel. So you're going to cross one leg over like this, and you're just going to rotate side to side, just back and forth, as far as you can comfortably. And you can let your back kind of come off of the mat. You can keep your hands by your sides here, or you can bring them out to the side, wherever feels most comfortable. And I'm doing this on a mat on the floor, and so you can use a mat, or if it's hard to get on the floor or uncomfortable, you can lay on a bed if that's more comfortable. Or if you want to do it first thing in the morning, you can lay on your bed or right before you go to bed as well. So I like to do this just 10 or 15 times back and forth. You can count or you can just go till it feels good. Just back and forth. We'll do a couple more here. And if it hurts to go further to the side, you don't have to go very far. Okay, we're going to switch legs. Put this leg up. We're going to go back and forth. Just like this. One leg will probably feel tighter than the other. This is a good piriformis stretch, so that muscle is kind of deep in the butt here and is often tight and often related to sciatica symptoms as well. So you'll probably feel it deep in here as you go back and forth. You may feel it in the front of your hip and the side as well. Just go within your comfort zone. So just as far as you can comfortably. Just back and forth. We'll do a couple more here. Call that one. We'll do two more. 2 and 3. Okay, from there, we're going to go onto our hands and knees like this, and we're going to do what's called a puppy pose. And we're going to do kind of an angle. So you're going to bring your hands out kind of to the side here and just kind of sit back on your heels. And you can relax your arms on the ground. This should feel good kind of in your lower back and your hips here, kind of open everything up. And this one, you can just stay in this position if you want to for 10 to 30 seconds. I like to stay for about 5-10 seconds and then come up and relax. And then come back down, just sit here. If it feels good, you can stay for longer. Just sit and kind of relax. You can kind of shift your hips side to side if you want to, see where you feel a little bit of a stretch. Sometimes if you shift, you can kind of feel it a little bit more on the side. And then we're going to come up and we'll do that one more time. Come and sit back. Just relax everything. Just kind of relax, let everything loosen up, feel good. All right, then we're going to come up and we'll go to the other side. So hands out here. And you can put your hands out as far as you feel comfortable. So if you want to do a little bit more, that's okay too. That'll kind of stretch more like quadratus lumborum, all the muscles on the side here. And just sit back there for 10 to 30 seconds. I'm going to go more on the 10-second side, and you can hold for just 5 seconds too if you want to. We're going to do 2 more of those. Just sit back, let your arms relax. Sometimes it's easy to keep your arms up, but if you put them down on the mat, it feels a little bit more comfortable. You really want to relax everything in your body. All right, we're going to come up and do that one more time. All right, just sit here and relax. You can also, while you go through this, you can kind of do some deep breathing. Just breathe and let everything relax, because you really want to just open up your hips, relax your low back, and just let everything kind of feel good. Okay, from there, we're going to come onto our hands and knees again. We're going to do a little thread the needle. So what you can do here, you're going to put one arm underneath here and slide under there. And I'm going to show you where you're going to come up here with the other arm and then back down and back up. Then you're going to go to the other side. You're going to go here and then up. And at the end of the movement, you can pause for a second. You can pause for 5 seconds if you want to. But you kind of want to keep moving a little bit, just back and forth, just like that. And if it's more comfortable to do it all on one side, go ahead and do that. I kind of like to go back and forth. It feels more even that way. And if that's too hard to go all the way up like that, you can just do the thread the needle here and then come back up and thread the needle to the other side. But I like to do this, gives a little extra stretch, kind of stretches your upper back as well. And you can do this 10 or 15 times to each side. You can do it less if you feel like you get a good stretch quicker, or you hold it longer. So if you hold this longer, I wouldn't do quite as many. Just going back and forth. Let's do a few more. All right, we're gonna go 2 more to each side. So you've got 1 and 1. All right, 1 more to each side. Last 1 and last 1. Okay, now we're going to come up into a downward dog position. So that's kind of just like this. And you may feel a little bit of a stretch in your calves and your hamstrings. But what we're going to do is you're just going to do a leg pedal. So you're going to stay in this position. Just bring your knee down like this. Just back and forth. And moving your feet like this. You can kind of shift your hips too. Get everything moving. If this is hard on your hands or your arms, you can go on your forearms like this on a step or a chair, make it a little easier. But if it feels okay, then just keep going like this. And you can go about 30 seconds, just back and forth. You can move your feet apart if you need to too. So really want to feel a good stretch there. It'll kind of stretch out your back too. Okay, let's do a couple more. Okay, and then from this position, we're going to go into a Cobra Pose. So that's here. And if this is too intense on your back, you definitely can go down on your elbows like this. Anything is a good start. This is kind of working on back extension. And then from here, we're actually going to go back into the downward dog position. Just going to pause for a second and then come back down here. Pause for another second and come back up. So you're just going to go back and forth like this. Pause for as long as you need. And then back up, pushing back. And then come up here. I like to lift my head up too, gets a deeper stretch. And then back here, just gonna go back and forth. Just like that. All right, let's do 2 more. We got 1. And 2. Okay, now we're gonna do 1 more in a kneeling position. So you're gonna go half kneeling, so 1 leg up like this. You're gonna put your arms together, and basically you're just gonna rotate the top arm back and then back together. And you wanna follow your hand with your head. So just back and forth like this. Just a good rotation as far as you can. And if it hurts to kneel, you can definitely do this in a standing position too. I think the kneeling just gives you a little bit more motion in your lumbar spine. And you can also try this on a bed or a couch if it's hard to kneel on the floor. All right, let's go 2 more. 1 and 2. Okay, we're gonna switch. Just like this, same thing, but on the other side. Rotate back and rotate back. This is good because this works on shoulder mobility too. So you'll definitely feel it in your shoulders. as well as your upper back and lower back. All right, we'll go a couple more. Let's go 2 more here. Got 1 and 2. Okay, so that concludes our little routine. You can do that in the morning or before bed and get your low back and hips and upper back and everything feeling good.